I need this. Okay, I can give it to you. I just need one book, that's it.
Hare Krishna, everyone move forward, please. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Samba Prabhuji and Her Grace Dr. Nitaisevini Mataji. They're all the way here from Vizag, Andhra Pradesh, India. So they're on a short trip to Australia. They've been to Melbourne. They're here in Sydney for another day, and they'll be going to Perth and then back to India. Prabhuji has been serving probably, if I look around the room, more than what our age is, or each one of our ages. So he's been a devotee since 1976, got initiated by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj in 1980, and he's served as temple presidents across India. He's opened up few temples, he's built a lot of temples. He's even worked as a secretary to Surabhi Prabhu, constructing Prabhupada Samadhi in Vrindavan, Mayapur, and he's constructed a lot of temples. Prabhuji tells us that he's also been to Melbourne back in early 80s. So this is his first trip to Sydney. So a very warm welcome to Prabhuji. Mataji, as you all know, most of you know, has been giving a lot of discourses. She's multilingual, I believe. She has flair over 3 or 4 languages, if not more, and that 5, there you go. Which I'll take a stab. English, Hindi, Telugu, Gujarati, and Bengali. Okay. Mataji is also a disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and she's been initiated for nearly 25 years. So a lot of experience between Mataji and Prabhuji in giving discourses, in traveling around the world. They mainly cover US, within subcontinent, US, Europe, East Asia. They've even lived in US, in Atlanta and Miami for a year or so, or a couple of years. And they've taken up an instruction from their spiritual master, and they're now constructing a temple in Vizag, Visakhapatnam, and Vijayanagaram. So let's welcome Prabhuji and Mataji with a warm Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Pankajanabhaya, Namo Pankajamaline, Namo Pankajanetraya, Namaste Pankajangri. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Deenabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. इस्कॉन वर्तमान गुरुवृंद की जय. अपने अपने गुरुदेव की जय. जयपताक स्वामी महाराज की जय. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to see you all here today, and I'm very happy to be here. This is my first time to Australia.
I had a whirlwind trip in Melbourne, met lots of devotees, had lots of program. Now I'm here in Sydney. Day after we are going to Perth, and from there we are heading back to India. So I see the devotees here are very enthusiastic, and so much service and so much prasadam distribution. It's very inspiring. This whole trip has been very inspiring for me so far. So I'm very happy to see you all here. So yes, so how long I speak? 1 hour? Yeah, yeah. Huh? Eternal. 9 p.m. Okay. 7:40 right now. Okay, yeah. I mean, those who have heard me before, they know that I have this habit of speaking for too long, so they'll be mentally prepared. So, okay. So today's topic is how can we become favorite devotee of Lord Krishna? We all love Lord Shri Krishna and we want to be his favorite devotee. And Lord in Bhagavad Gita himself has given out the secret how we can become his favorite devotee. And we are, in another hour or so, we are going to explore that. Where is that and what can we do to become a favorite devotee of Lord Krishna? Well, the goal of our life is to go back home, back to Godhead. And going back home, back to Godhead means going to Krishna's loka, go loka. Loka is a planet, a different planet. And we are on a Bhu-loka. So from Bhu-loka, we need to go to Go-loka, different planet. Now, it's definitely going to be difficult. Even, just traveling from one continent to another, it's such a big, it is so difficult. I've personally experienced this last 4 days, the trip that I had because my visa arrived only on 10th and 13th we were on the flight, so we couldn't get proper connection, so I had to go from Vizag, Hyderabad, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Bali, Melbourne. And you can imagine what must have happened everywhere, immigration, everywhere documents. And I was just wondering that simple intercontinent travel is so hassle. You have to have the right documents. How can we think that we can go to Goloka, without any hassle? Definitely, we need lots of documentation and lots of work to be done in that angle. And it's not only about documents. There are places where you also have to have the right dress. And I remember a couple of years ago when we went on our preaching tour to the Middle East, especially the place called Qatar, Doha. This devotional dress is not allowed, so we had to wear something, and he had to wear something else, So I mean, just to go from one place to another in the planet, inside this Boloka only, you need the right documents, you need the right clothes, you need just everything there. And forget about even traveling closer to us. Even if you have to attend a birthday party, there is a theme for that. If they say you have to wear white and red, you have to wear white and red. Everything has to go according to theme. That means even when we have to go to Goloka Vrindavan, we have to have the right dress and the right attitude and the right qualities. Only then we'll be able to travel to Goloka Vrindavan. So Krishna has given those details. Okay, if you have this. Now you may say, well, Krishna just said that, you just surrender to me and I take you back. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But it's like this. If you have to stay, if somebody is inviting you to their house, they're hosting you, at least we need to be on the same page, have some qualities that they appreciate. If we want to be going to Krishna's house, at least we should have those qualities which Krishna wants in us, which he likes in us. So in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna lists out this quality. So we know there is a Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga and Gnana Yoga. And in Bhakti Yoga, well, Krishna is explaining from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 chapters about demigod worship and about how, if we remember Krishna at the end of our life, what happens. And then he explains about how his energy is pervaded everywhere. And then he explains about Vibhuti Yoga, his opulence. And then he actually shows his universal form in the 11th chapter. And in the 12th chapter he says, okay, now you know my energy is pervaded everywhere. Now you know how who I am. You have seen my vibhuti, you have seen me. So now, do you want to come to me? Is the 12th chapter. You want to come now? It's like a teaser. Okay, this is what I am. So yes, do you want to come to me? Okay, you want to come to me? Fine. Then I'll tell you what I like what are the qualities that I like in you, and then you can come to me. So here in the 12th chapter Bhakti Yoga, from verse number 13 to 20, Krishna lists out almost all 30 to 31 qualities that he wants to see in his devotee. And when I'm using this word favorite devotee, it's not my created word. Krishna says that in those verses. He uses this word, Yo me bhakta same priyaha. And that line is so contagious. When I was trying to, list out these qualities, and for few days together, when I was giving seminar on this elsewhere to somebody, some other yatra, and this line, Yo me bhakta same priyaha. It is so beautiful. Krishna is directly saying, Yo me bhakta. That kind of devotee is so dear to me. So I thought, this is something that, because we love Krishna, so we are going to recite those verses today and get deep into it, that how can we become Krishna's favorite devotee and how we can please him. If you have Bhagavad Gita app in your phone, you can also open it up and then we can all recite together. So we'll start with verse number 13. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna eva cha nirmamo nirahankara sama dukkha sukha shami santushta satatam yogi yatatmam drida nischayaha mayyarpita mano buddhi yo mad bhakta same priyaha. Somebody wants to read the translation in English loudly without the mic. Please go ahead, Mataji.
Translation given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
one who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading that for us. So now, as we in another hour read all these 31 qualities, what I want you to do is, all these qualities that we go through, tick them and put them into appropriate columns. There may be some qualities in this which we are going to read, which are like Ichharup. Ichharup means we like those qualities, we heard about it, oh they are so nice, and we wish someday we'll have that quality. So we can put that in that column. Okay, these qualities are there in me in a desire form, Ichharupa. Some qualities is Abhyasa Rupa. I like this quality and I'm actually making a conscious effort to get this quality in me. Abhyasa Rupa, I'm trying. And then some qualities in this is Siddha Rupa. That means I've already acquired the quality. The quality is in me, but once in a while I fall down. I'm not able to maintain it. And then there may be some qualities here which is like Sthayi Rupa or Sthira Rupa. It's always there in us and we never fall down in those qualities. So now if we have them rightly listed in different columns, then we know how we need to work on it and how will we gradually become favorite devotee of Lord Krishna. So coming to the first quality, Krishna says, Adveshta. If you want to become my favorite devotee, then you should be non-envious. We should be non-envious of anybody. It's not about devotees, non-devotees, anybody. We should have this quality of non-enviousness. In fact, this quality, Matsara, everywhere, time and again, if you see in the 9th chapter or elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, in so many places, or the 11th chapter, Krishna keeps telling Arjun that only those who are non-envious can understand this knowledge. So this is one prerequisite or qualification if we want to understand what Krishna is trying to give us message. The first quality is to become non-envious. We should be non-envious. See, actually, when we see people around us, if we look at them positively, their good qualities, then they become our inspiration. If we look at them negatively, then we become jealous of them. So the only thing is, whenever we see something good in others, we should just take it as an inspiration. Okay. And another point is, why do we feel envious of somebody? Sometimes maybe because we lack those qualities, or we want, those qualities in us. But in Goloka Vrindavan, the peacock dances and the cow gives milk. And the cow never feels bad that why can't I dance like peacock? And the peacock never feels bad that why can't I give milk like cow? They're so happy. So it's like Krishna has given us all different capabilities. Maybe somebody can make really good garlands for Krishna, somebody can sing for Krishna, somebody can dance for Krishna, and somebody can cook for Krishna. And we are all having, our own abilities, and we don't have to become a copy of somebody. We don't have to talk like somebody, and we don't have to look like somebody. We can just be what we are. And Krishna loves us just the way we are. So this is one quality, adveshta, non-envious. Actually, why does this non-enviousness, why does this enviousness comes in us? Because somewhere our connection with Krishna is loose. We may feel that this enviousness has cropped in me because of this particular situation, but actually ultimately everything boils down to our not having a proper connection with Krishna. Now you don't have those Walkmans. Of course, now you have, you almost all the time have teenagers who are hooked up to the cell phone, and especially they have these earphones in their ears, and even if you call them out, half of the time they can't hear. And if you want to tell them something, you shouldn't go and tell them. First you go to their ears and take out the earphone, and then you should speak. Only then they can hear what they are saying. Now I tell you, if you are angry on your husband, the good time is when he's hearing something, you speak whatever you want to speak and abuse, whatever you comes in your heart, because he can't hear, because he's having those earphones in his. But only thing, make sure he has not paused the video or something, then he can hear you what he is saying. So when he is connected, he can't hear. But when he is disconnected, he can hear what you are saying. When we are connected to Krishna, nothing bothers who says what and who's doing what. The moment we lose connection with Krishna, everything becomes very important, and we start looking at things in a different way. So adveshta, we have to be non-envious. Now, the easiest way to become non-envious is to have a motherly feeling for everybody. I tell you, when I give classes, there are children also, right? And grihasthas, we have little kids playing around. Sometimes they're making noise. If you want to know whose children are making noise, it's very simple to understand. If somebody's children are making noise, some lady will say, this is not correct. Why are the kids not making noise? We came so far off, to hear, drive all the way to come and hear the class, and they should have been trained properly. Kids should not make noise. You understand? It's not the mother. And the mother, her attitude will be, अगर बच्चे आवाज़ नहीं करेंगे तो हम करेंगे क्या? Children don't make noise, and who will make noise? It's their age. They are naughty. We cannot control children. So we understand, उनका बच्चा आवाज़ कर रहा है. We understand that their child is making noise. Now what happens? Mother is always trying to cover up the child's mistake. Even if you see a little boy walking, and if some nosy is coming out, or from the nose and all, the first thing that mother will do is she will not start criticizing why this is happening. She'll, even if nothing is available, there is no tissue, she will take her sari, wipe out. She'll always try to hide the child's mistake. When we become mother of somebody, we want to protect, and that's what we need to do in a devotee community also. Become a mother for everybody. Everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is there in everybody's heart. So, we are all part of one whole family. So we need to protect each other. So instead of being envious, we can love each other, with an open heart, and protect each other, guide each other, help each other wherever we are going wrong, instead of being envious. And it's very difficult to actually even know that we are envious, because that feeling is so deep inside, and it's so subtle. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful garland. The feeling is so subtle inside, we don't even realize that we are actually envious, and if we want to know for ourselves that we are envious or not, when somebody is praising some other devotee, and we should see what's going on in our mind, I've seen many times, you go and tell a devotee, Prabhu, aaj ka kirtan bahut, you understand Hindi, all of you? Yeah. Aaj ka kirtan bahut acha tha na, Prabhu ji ne kitna acha kirtan kiya. The immediate answer will be, हाँ, कीर्तन तो अच्छा करते, पर आपको पता है कितना राइस खाते हैं. उनका प्लेट में कभी देखा है? और मैंने आज तक कभी नहीं देखा कि he has done निर्जला एकादशी, never follows always eating during एका. So that's a problem. We don't understand actually that we are envious, but हमारी बातों में it comes out in our talk, you know. Okay, she's nice, but did you see the sari she wore on the Radhashmi day? You know, something like that. You know, we'll always try to, you know, put attention here and there. We have somewhere a subtle enviousness, but we don't understand, and we think, I'm not envious, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling what's the truth, you know. So, yeah, so this one thing, you know, we have to work on is adveshta. We have to be non-envious of everybody. Then we can become Krishna's dear devotee. So, adveshta, and then comes sarva bhutanam, adveshta for every. Some they don't know English, is it? How many of you don't understand? कितने लोगों को हिंदी इंग्लिश समझ में नहीं आती है? इंग्लिश समझ में नहीं आता है, ऐसा कोई है? Oh, okay. How many of you don't understand Hindi? Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, I'm going to avoid trying to speak in Hindi, but some things are just good in Hindi, you know. Yeah. So, Adveshta Sarva Bhutana Maitra. Now, the second word is also very beautiful. Sarva Bhutana Maitra, friendship or friendliness with everybody. This is very important quality. If we want to become Krishna's favorite devotee, we'll have to be friendly with everybody. I tell you, when I got married, that was like 25 years ago, my husband took me to Frankfurt, and we had this Euro-rail pass those days, and we went to a couple of places. So we were traveling for a long time, and I was actually missing India. So we were on a train from Frankfurt to Paris. Now the trains were empty, and I mean, we hardly see people there traveling. So we both were sitting, and then suddenly an Indian couple, you know, walked in. And luckily, after having a conversation with them, I understood they're from Ahmedabad, you know, and I'm a Gujarati. And I became so happy, you know, like I finally got somebody to speak to in Gujarati, and I started talking to them, and they were carrying khakra. Now you'll not understand what's khakra unless you are a Gujarati. A Gujarati can sell their soul for getting a khakra. You know, it's very, and then they shared khakra with me, and I was so happy, and I had a chat with them, and finally we reached the destination. So my husband's comment, you know, is, I'm taking you halfway across the world, and I don't get that smile, and the Guju bhais get so much smile. You know, you are smiling and happy and all that animation. And I said, well, they're Gujarati, Prabhu, you know. I'm very happy to meet them. Now, over a period of time, I understood. Now, I'm not about Gujaratis or Telugu or Hindi. What now I am about is when I see somebody with a tilak, you know, super excitement, as if I met my family members. Wherever we are, I see somebody with tilak, hey, Hare Krishna, and they say Hare Krishna back, done. We are like, our people. But Krishna says, no, not even that. Not even if somebody is not having a tilak, we need to have that same love and excitement to see them, to meet them, and to talk to them. Then we can become Krishna's dear devotee. I know when I speak all this, it will sound so lofty. Really? I mean, can we actually come out to that stage where we can love everybody so much? But then, if you want to become Krishna's favorite, we're not trying to become a, you know, favorite of Shah Rukh Khan or favorite of, you know, I just went to Madame Tussauds in the morning, so some names will come out. So, we're not trying to become favorite of somebody in this material world. It will be very easy. If you want to become favorite of somebody in this material world, it's very easy to impress the people of this material world. But to impress Krishna, He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we really need to cultivate those qualities in us. So if you want to become Krishna's favorite, we have to love everybody. So no more, you know, my community, my caste, my language. No more, okay, Hare Krishna, ISKCON. Just everybody, whether it's an insect or a bird, or we just have to love everybody. In fact, you know, I tell you a small analogy for this. There was this boy and girl who had an affair. So they were meeting regularly, you know, chup ke. So finally the girl said, I think enough is enough. I think we should get married. So this boy made a very important statement. He said, as long as we're meeting each other and we have this affair, you and me, we talk, everything fine. But if you want to come to the stage of marriage, then there are certain conditions. You'll have to accept my family. I have a mother who is sick. I have a father who is handicapped. I have a brother who is short-tempered. I have a sister who is not married. You know, he just listed out all these things. So if you're ready to accept my whole family, then you can get married to me. Affair is okay, you and me. Marriage, The whole family is involved. The same thing Krishna is telling us also. You want to have an affair with me? Fine. Come to Radha Gopinath temple, have darshan once in a while. You want to get married to me? Then you have to accept my whole family. Because everybody is Krishna's family. And in Krishna's family, there are short-tempered Vaishnavas, chocolate-like Mita Vaishnavas, and there are all kinds of Vaishnavas. And we have to accept everybody. Then we can, then Krishna will be happy. Then he will accept us and he will take us back home, back to God at his home. Then we can get married to him and get inside his house. If we accept every Vaishnava, everybody has different temperament, different nature, different swabhava, but they're all at the end of the day Vaishnavas. So we have to learn to love everybody. So yes, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam Maitra. Maitra is loving unconditionally. We have this, we love people, but then we also have some expectation. But what Krishna is talking about here, Maitra, is loving unconditionally. So, Adveshta, Sarva Bhutana, Maitra, Karuna, compassion. Krishna likes it when we have that quality of compassion in us. We love everybody, we are kind to everybody, we are equal to everybody. Now, you see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are examples of Ranti Dev and Shibi Maharaj, Ranti Dev Maharaj, he fasted for 40 days, no water, no food for his citizens, unconditional love and compassion. We see Maharaj Shibi, just to save a pigeon from a vulture, he was ready to cut the flesh of his own thighs equal to the weight of the pigeon and somehow saved the pigeon. He told the vulture, you need food, you need meat, right? So I'll give you the same weight of my thighs, flesh from my thighs, please don't harm the pigeon. So now these examples are of course very lofty for us. How can we come on that level? But what we can do on our level is, when we see somebody is in need, if it's possible, we help them physically, financially, emotionally, or support them. But if it's not possible, then we simply pray for them. Praying for everybody is possible. Day before yesterday, I was giving a class at some house program in Melbourne, and there was one devotee who had come all the way from Brisbane to see us, and he had a very typical question. He said, Mataji, I'm doing my 16 rounds, but I'm dedicating it to some other people in my family. I'm saying this 16 round is for this family member because they recently left body, or for somebody. So is it okay? So that means I will not get anything out of my 16 rounds. And I told him that maybe you don't know, but this is the good news. When you chant for somebody, let's say you chanted 16 rounds and you dedicated to XYZ, it's not that because you dedicated those 16 rounds to XYZ, you don't get any more the Sukruti out of it. No, you get it and he also gets it. So that's the good news. It's not that you are taking something away from your quota and you are giving it to somebody. You also get the benefit and you are just adding people to that. You just added beneficiary. That's all it's happening. So yes, we can do that. But another point here is compassion also unconditional. Charity also unconditional. Whatever we are doing is unconditional. I tell you, I won't tell you the name, but in one temple in India, whatever somebody donates, let's say somebody donates a fan or a mic system or whatever, especially in India, they make sure that their names are written, this is donated by this. But that's all right. I don't have a big issue with that. But there was an issue in this particular temple because on the fan it was written, Ghansham Das and family. And this Mr. Ghansham Das was not allowing anybody to run the fan because he said when the fan moves, my name doesn't come up here, And, after 4 months, the temple authorities were so upset, they removed the fan and put it in his hand. We don't need your fan. Because the old man is almost there in the chair and looking at the fan. It should be there so that the name appears, So that is not compassion. That's not compassion. Unconditional. You're just doing something, for them so that it will be helpful to them, right? So Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam Maitra Karuna Evacha Nirmama. Nirmama is no sense of proprietorship. Now this is very difficult, because we have worked hard and got something, and now Krishna is saying that don't keep sense of proprietorship. It is difficult, but it will please Krishna. Now I tell you, when I was young, we had this magazine called Tinkle, And there are lots of stories of Mulla Nasruddin. There's one particular story I like about him is, he was once walking and he saw a coconut tree with lots of coconuts. So he decided that let me climb the tree and get the coconuts. So he climbed and got all the coconuts, And then while he was climbing down, he realized that he hadn't realized while climbing that it was so far on the top, So while climbing down, he really got scared that I may slip and fall. Did I do the right thing by coming up there? But anyway, he thought it's all right, I'll pray to the Lord, to protect me. So he prayed to the Lord, and very emotionally he said, my Lord, I saw these coconuts, but what I will do? All these 100 coconuts, I'll give it to you. I'm just doing it for you. Like we do it. Sometimes we engage in sense gratification and we say, for Krishna, just for Krishna, I've bought this laptop. Just for Krishna's service or whatever the Mahaprasad. It is Mahaprasad. When we take a cake or whatever. So he said, this is for Krishna. So fine. And he felt now confident and there was no breeze and he was coming down. When he was halfway through, he just had a question in his mind. He said, I saw the coconuts. I worked hard. I climb. Why do I have to give all the 100 coconuts to Krishna? So he told my Lord, since even I have worked hard, let's keep it 50-50. And then after some time when he was climbing down and he realized that looks like he's almost safe, he said, my Lord, it's not a good deal because I saw the tree, I climbed, you're simply a sleeping partner. Let's make it 25-75. And as soon as he said that, there was, breeze blowing and then the tree was swaying and he said, my Lord, joke kar raha hu. Don't take it so seriously. I'm just joking with you. I'm going to give you all 100. So that's with us, when we are in problem, we have all these things, for Krishna and not, mera kya hai, sab kuch aapka hai. What is, everything is yours, my Lord. But we have to actually develop that feeling that everything is Krishna's. Now I'm here in Sydney, hosted by a very wonderful family, and Venkat Prabhu and his family. And I tell you something, I felt so inspired when I walked in their house. They have this beautiful house there, and everything there is on, their Guru Maharaj, our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj's name. You walk in, their house is named after Guru Maharaj, their car is with Guru Maharaj, their rooms in the house is Guru Maharaj, and I thought that was such a wonderful thing. It's like it is Guru Maharaj's house, and we are staying there. So the whole feeling that a devotee needs to have is, this is Krishna's, but as of now, it's under my protection. As of now, I'm taking care of it, but it is Krishna's. Such a wonderful thing to do. And last one day that I've been in their house, I'm also in their consciousness. In fact, when they send me, details of my schedule, how I'm going to arrive at the airport, and they said, arrival at GM house, Guru Maharaj house. I thought it was wonderful because in India, even chamach pe bhi naam likha rehta hai, Reddy, spoons and vessels, but I didn't see in their house anywhere their name. It's all about Guru Maharaj. So, we have to be in that consciousness. Okay, this is Guru's or this is Krishna's property and I'm just staying there, And it is very important to have also this one line that this is Krishna's, but as of now it's under my care. That line is also very important. Otherwise we will become very, careless. Anyway, it's not mine, it is Krishna's. No, it is not yours, but as of now is under your care. These children are not yours, they are Krishna's, but as of now they are under your care. This husband or wife is not yours, but as of now under your care. That is very important. Otherwise, after this class, Prabhus may say, I'll not give you my salary, you are Krishna's, Krishna will take care of you. But as of now, they are under our care, So this is such an important thing. Nirmama. You have all the facilities, but your consciousness is, it is Krishna's. So nirmamaha, nirahankara. Prideless. A devotee has to develop this quality of prideless. Well, how will the pride come? If you are following the other qualities. If you are non-envious, adveshta, and you are having maitri, friendship for everybody, adveshta, sarvabhutana, maitra, karuna, you are having compassion, and nirmama, you don't have a sense of proprietorship, then where will the pride come? See, pride is such a thing, I tell you, even the great stalwart devotees, you must have heard about Ashvashira and Vedashira, have you heard? They were both both very exalted sages. So Ashwashira and Vedashira, they had a petty fight because Vedashira came into his ashram and he was doing tapasya, and Ashwashira said, how dare you come to my place? Don't you understand? I was doing meditation under this tree, and how come you come into my tree? And then he says, why are you speaking like a crow? Ka, 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 go and become a crow. He said, you calling me crow? You are hissing like a snake. Go and become a snake. Now they were all great, both were great sages, and they cursed each other. So that's why we have Kaka Bhushandi, and we have the Kaliyam. They were great sages, but that's how they just counter-cursed each other and they fall down, So pride and, just a small thing. How dare you speak with me like this, or how dare you speak with me like that? So this is one quality, Nirahankara. Actually, Ahankar comes because of lack of knowledge. If we know how great is Krishna, and if we know how insignificant that we are, then there will be no ahankara. I remember as a young girl when we went to see Taj Mahal, from far off, you see Taj Mahal, it looks like very small. If you just put your hand, even for that matter, sun, you can get sun in your hand. If you put like this, it's just inside your hand. But when you go closer, when I went closer to Taj Mahal, I saw, wow, it's huge. It was looking like that, just coming between my two fingers, but it's very big. Similarly, when we are not having shastric knowledge, when we don't read scriptures regular basis, when we don't hear classes, then we don't take Krishna seriously. We don't understand how great Krishna is, and we start thinking we are great. But the more we read, the more we understand that we don't understand anything. The more we realize that, and then our respect for Krishna increase, and then there will be no pride. So nirmamaha, nirahankara, and then sama, dukkha, sukha. A devotee of the Lord is equipoised in all situations because he knows Krishna is my well-wisher, and whatever is happening in my life is under the control of the Lord. So he can be easily, he knows after day there will be night, and after night there will be day. So he knows that even though things are not under my control, they are always under Krishna's control. Even though the things are not making sense now, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have sense. Just because I don't understand what it means now, but Krishna has a plan. So sama, dukkha, sukha. In fact, a couple of years ago in India, anything used to go wrong, they used to say, iske piche Pakistan ka haath hai. They used to do that. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's getting recorded, but whatever. So everything, kuch bhi ho jaye, I mean, even if you are constipated and, you something to do with Pakistan, because of that you didn't have a clear, whatever. So, but similarly, devotees, for them it's also like that. Whatever happens in their life, they will say, iske piche Krishna ka haath hai. Behind this, Krishna is there. Even if I'm happy, it's because of Krishna. Okay, I'm put in this situation, Krishna has a plan for me. So he is confident that Krishna is my well-wisher. Krishna is the boss of this world, and that boss is my well-wisher. So that way, we can be sama, sukha, and dukkha. And shami, forgive. If we want to become favorite devotee of Lord, we will have to forgive. A favorite devotee of Lord cannot do tit for tat. We can't do. If he spoke like that, I'll speak like this. If she said like that, I'll do like that. No, devotee of the Lord is shami. He will not do tit for tat. Now you may ask, it's difficult, is it not? Like somebody says something, you want to say something back, or you want to avenge, you want to take a revenge of whatever has happened, but we can keep it later. For example, I remember, when my children were young, they play in the park and all. Sometimes, kuch to ho jata hai na, pushing. Sometimes children are playing, they push each other. The first thing the kids say, "Main mummy ko bolunga, I'll tell my mother, I'll tell my." Is it not? It's like a typical thing. I'll tell my mother, you pushed it. That attitude we can keep even after we become adult. Anybody hurts us or says something which is not nice, we should think, I'll tell Krishna when I go back to Goloka Vrindavan. I'll tell Krishna how this devotee treated me, and just like Narendra Modi has chai pe charcha or man ki baat, we're also going to have chai pe charcha with Krishna once. And not chai, I mean herbal chai, whatever. I don't think chai is allowed in Goloka Vrindavan. So we will have a chai pe, herbal chai pe charcha with Krishna when we go back to Goloka Vrindavan. Maybe we'll be sipping some strawberry milkshake with him one fine day, one sunny morning in Goloka Vrindavan under a kadamba tree, and we'll be telling him, in the Sydney community, that Mataji was so, she was like this and he was like that. We'll have all the time to complain to him, but not now. Now we are in hurry. We want to go back. We shouldn't be wasting time. Our situation is like the house is getting burned, and let's say you have a hole somewhere on the ceiling, and you have a ladder, and you are trying to get out of the house, and imagine you are in all hurry, and and the house is burning, and you are getting out, and then your wife calls out and says, "Ye blue t-shirt suit nahi ho raha hai aapko." What will you say? Come on, shut up, the house is burning, forget, change kar lete. No, it's blue or yellow. I just need to get out from this, That's what we are doing, Somebody says something and we get hurt. Forget about whether they're talking about our blue t-shirt or yellow t-shirt. I don't care. I want to get out of this place. We have to, samsara dava nalalidha loka. We just have to get out of this place somehow. Let's not worry about who's saying what about us. Let's be serious and let's not lose our focus. And we need to go back home, back to Godhead. So we finished Adveshta, Sarvabhutana, Maitra, Karunaivacha, Nirmama, Nirahankara, Sama, Dukkha, Sukha, Sami. Now comes another important point. Santushta. So important. The devotee, a favorite devotee of Lord, he's contented. Now, there is a subtle thing here. We also feel, actually, I'm also like that. Maybe I say, I'm contented. Whatever I have, I'm contented. Actually, that's not contentment. What we have is saturation. There is a difference between satisfaction and saturation. Now, saturation is something like, let's say I like gulab jamuns. No, I think I need to change this because I keep telling like this in my lecture, and everywhere I go, people give me gulab jamun. I hate gulab jamun now. I've been eating gulab jamun all the time. No, I like rasmalai. I'll just change it. So I like rasmalai. So let's say okay, now you give me 1, I'm fine. You give me 4, I'm fine. You give me 10, I'm like, it's okay. I'm satisfied. Okay, but if you give me tomorrow, I'm again ready to take it, right? So that means I'm not satisfied. I'm saturated. For now, I can't eat anymore. But tomorrow or after 10 days, I can again eat it. But if I was actually satisfied, then I wouldn't have to eat it again any time in my life because I'm satisfied. I already had a rasmalai once, but it's not satisfaction, it's saturation. So this is what is happening with us. If we feel, I'm satisfied because my desire is fulfilled. No, satisfaction should not come from the desire fulfilled. Satisfaction should come from love. Satisfaction should come from knowledge. Satisfaction should come from understanding. If I am satisfied with an understanding, Krishna has given me enough. If I am satisfied because I love Krishna, if I am satisfied with the knowledge, then that is satisfaction. But if the satisfaction is coming because a particular desire of mine has been fulfilled, then I caution you, another new desire is going to come very soon and knock your door. And then another desire is going to come. So it's a big cycle. So satisfaction should not arise from desire fulfilled, but it should come from knowledge, understanding and love. Right. So Santushta. In fact, I'll tell you, I don't know if you have heard about Lal Bahadur Shastri. He was the Prime Minister of India, and his salary was 500 rupees per month those days. So once so happened that he was in one of his very close friends came to him and said, I need a loan for 5,000 rupees. So he said, that's a big amount. I don't think I can, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can lend you that much money. I don't have that much money. So fine, he went back. After a year or so, they met in a party. So when they met in a party, this man came to Lal Bahadur Shastri and said, I just want to say thank you for that loan which you gave me. He said, but I never gave you the loan. Oh, you don't know? Your wife gave it to me. So I said, is it? So he went back home and he asked his wife, did you give 5,000 rupees to my friend? Yeah, he asked me and he was in need, so I gave it. She said, but where did you get the money from? She said, well, actually, 500 rupees your salary and our monthly expenses is 400 rupees. So every month I'm saving 100 rupees. So I had this money. So I thought, he's your friend and I will lend it to you. He said, that's all right. He immediately went to his study room, took out a white paper and wrote a letter to the government of India. Said, "Dear respected sir, my salary is 500, but looks like our house has been maintained properly with 400. Can you reduce my salary from next month and make it 400? Because, 100 rupees is extra." Can you imagine? That was the standard of the leaders, That is actually satisfaction. I don't need it. It's an extra amount, So Krishna likes that kind of devotees, those who are santushta, contented, bloom where you are planted. Whatever situation Krishna has put us in, usually we have that. If my husband was, devotee like this Prabhu, I think I could have also do much better for the temple. If my wife was like this, then I think if my children were obedient to me, if I had a better job, if I had a bigger car, if I had a better house, if I, so many things we have, and then I could have become a better devotee. No. This is the house I have, and this is the car I have, and this is the wife I have. And of course, you'll have a different one in the next life. I'm just giving you hope, Yeah. I don't want to disappoint you, but next life. But for now, this is what you have. And with this, whatever Krishna has given me, I have to serve Krishna. That should be our attitude, right? So, santushta. Satatam yogi. That is what Krishna is asking. Next thing that he wants from his favorite devotee, Satatam yogi. Yogi means to be connected to Krishna. Satatam yogi means Krishna wants that we should be always connected to Krishna. So it's not that we should be connected to Krishna only on Saturdays and Sundays or on weekends. No, Krishna is saying satatam. Even when you are buying that, grocery, or you doing some marketing, or you are at your office or workspace or cooking, or no matter what you are doing, Krishna wants you should always be connected to him. So Krishna has this CCTV everywhere. Even if we can't see that physically, he is there inside and he's always watching us. When we remember Krishna in the temple, he's happy. But when we remember Krishna somewhere, we are in the train or, on the bus and, in middle of all the things, and we still have Krishna in our smarana, then he gives us more marks. He becomes more happy. Okay, you're remembering him all the time. So a satatam yogi, connected to Krishna all the time. Then next point, yatatma. Yatatma, Krishna wants this quality in his devotee. Yatatma means self-controlled. Yes, if we are connected to Krishna always, we can be self-controlled. Why can't we control our senses? Because we are losing the connection with Krishna. If we are in connection with Krishna, we can very easily control our senses. So Krishna says, santushta satatam yogi yatatma. We should have that sensor in our hearts, just like you have sensors, for remote controls, sensor, where we keep checking ourselves. This bhava or this thinking that I got in my mind, is it okay and conducive for my Krishna consciousness? Is it not conducive for my Krishna consciousness? And I don't keep that bhava with me. So we have to be all the time very cautious what's going on in our mind. Santushta satatam yogi yatatmam dridinischaya. Krishna says, I like those devotees who have firm determination to continue Krishna consciousness. Not that Krishna doesn't fulfill our two desires and we start worshipping Ganapati or we start worshipping Lord Shiva. No, whatever way, aslisyava padaratam pinastumam, you are my Lord. We have a firm determination to serve Krishna and love Krishna. And Krishna likes that kind of devotee. Krishna should be our first priority. Krishna should not be a dessert in our life, dessert which you take after the main course. No, Krishna should be our first priority. So, santushta satatam yogi yathatmam dridanischaya mayyarpita mano buddhi. Now Krishna is asking something more. You want to become my favorite devotee? Then I need two things from you. Krishna says, Maya arpita, give me two things. What is that? Man and buddhi. I want your mind and I want your intelligence, is what Krishna is asking. And it's easy to give. People in this world, they don't want our heart. They just want our body. Krishna wants our mind. Krishna is not bothered where we are, where our mind is. That is what Krishna is saying. We should give our mind to Krishna, I'm reminded of this one story that I had heard in my childhood, and I'm sure if you're all from Indian background, this was a compulsory story. 2-3 stories are compulsory, like Thirsty Crow and the Piped Piper and the Monkey and the Hat. There's this one story, Monkey and the Crocodile. Monkey and the crocodile become friends. And then the crocodile tells monkey one day, would you like to come to my house? My wife has made feast for you. And the monkey becomes very happy. Yeah, I'm ready to come, I'm already smelling samosas. Yeah, let's go. So then the crocodile makes the monkey sit on his back. And then when they are halfway, in the river, the crocodile, feels guilty. I think I'm doing something wrong. I think I should confess. So he tells the monkey, actually, my wife has not prepared any feast for you. I'm cheating you. What do you mean? Actually, somebody told my wife that a monkey's heart is very crispy and very tasty. So I know she wants to eat you. So I'm cheating you and I'm taking you so that my wife can eat your heart. Now this monkey was very intelligent. He said, oh, come on, that's not called cheating. It's a very small thing. Why didn't you tell me before? It's just that today morning my heart became wet, so I had just kept it on the top of the branch of the tree to dry it, and I forgot to carry it. If you would have told me, I would have carried the heart. Oh, come on. No, it's all right. You can just take me back and we'll get the heart. It's on the top branch, and the crocodile became very happy. He said, oh, I thought you'll feel bad. No, I'm not feeling bad about it. And then they immediately swam back to the, to the island, and then monkey got on the tree, and crocodile is still waiting. Okay, let's get the heart. And the monkey said, get out, whatever. So people of this world also, we can keep our heart somewhere else and not give our heart to the people of this world. We can tell them when they ask, actually my heart is with Radha Gopinath, my heart is there and I forgot to bring it back from Aarti this morning. So it's like that, like the monkey and the crocodile. So yeah, Dhrida Nishchaya Mai Arpita Mano Buddhi and Yomat Bhakta Same Priya. And Krishna says in the end, that kind of devotee is very dear to me. And then comes the next verse, don't start clapping, and there's so many verses more. Then Krishna says, Yasmano Dvijate Loko Lokano Dvijate Chayaha. I like that kind of devotee who does not cause disturbance to others, and he does not get disturbed by others. Now, why will we get disturbed by others if we are in a divine affair with Krishna? Then we'll not get disturbed by others. Just like I told you the Walkman example or the earphones example. If you're hearing and you are connected, you can't hear what anybody is telling you. So you will not be disturbed. So we have to get involved and keep Krishna in our consciousness, and that way we'll not be disturbed by what other people have to tell about us. And anyway, devotee does not disturb others. So this is one thing we can tick. Then he says next thing, Harsha Marsha Bhayo Dvege Mukto Ya Sachame Priyaha. A devotee of the Lord, Harsha Marsha, even during anxiety, happiness or fear, he doesn't have all thisness. He's neither fearful, neither he is in distress, neither in anxiety. Even if such situations arise in his life, he is equipoised. Why he's equipoised? Because he's internally strong. He's so nicely connected with Krishna that outside things don't affect him. So he knows also that this will also pass. He knows that this world is temporary. He knows this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam, and he knows that Krishna is in charge of everything. So he can remain equipoised in all situations. He knows whatever situations are coming are just like the climatic conditions. Sometimes there is rainy, sometimes there's winter, and then climates keep changing, situations keep changing. There is nothing to worry because Krishna is there to protect us. And then next quality Krishna says is anapeksha. My devotee doesn't have any expectations. That means he doesn't have any desires, he doesn't have any expectation. But Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami says, a devotee for himself, he will not have any desire. But for Krishna, he will desire big. He will have big desires. For Krishna, he wants to do something big. So, anapeksha. Or we can say, he has the right expectation. Like, we know a shawl is to give us warmth. Shawl can't give you oranges. So a devotee has a right expectation. He knows material world, it is temporary. Material world is full of suffering. Material world, we have Adi Devik, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, Kleshas and misery. Material world or this human body is only to know more about Krishna and get connected to Krishna. So he has a right expectation. So devotee is anapeksha, right? I'll tell you one story of an alvar. You know, right? Alvars, just like we have our Goswamis, there are alvars alvar is those who are drowned in Krishna's love. So there was this one alvar, and he was sitting in the corridor of Sri Rangam temple, and he had this torn quilt, and he was trying to stitch it. Now, so to stitch, you need to get the thread, from the hole of the needle, and he was trying hard, but he had grown old, and he wasn't able to do it. Now, Shiva and Parvati, they were just moving around, and they was, had a darshan of Ranganathji. So when Parvati Devi saw this devotee, she was telling Lord Shiva that why not you give him some blessing, some boon. He's just like a poor fellow. I mean, even the blanket is torn. Why not we go and bless him? So Lord Shiva said that, well, devotees of Vishnu, they don't ask anything, let's not go and disturb him. But Parvati Devi was insisting. So finally Lord Shiva and Parvati, they went, and he was very happy when he saw them. He just put his blanket there and he just prayed and offered his prayers and all. Finally Lord Shiva said, so I like to give you something. So he said, no, I don't need anything. No, I insist. If you have taken my darshan, you have to ask something. I can't go like that, Ask something you ask, whatever you want to. Then he thought for a while and he said, yeah, okay, I think I need something. And what is that? Actually, this thread is not going inside the hole of the needle. So can you help me so that I can just stitch my blanket? And then Lord Shiva was looking at Parvati. Now, I told you this, Lord Vishnu's devotees, they don't want anything, So yeah, anapeksha, they have no expectations. I'm just reminded of one more story. There was this one devotee who was chanting very nicely, so wonderfully, his 16 rounds. So Lakshmi Devi, Rukmini Devi, she became very happy. So Lakshmi Devi came in the middle of the night while he was chanting, and he said, I'm very happy with you and I want to give you something, ask whatever you want to. So he stopped his chanting. He said, what should I ask? I mean, I've not thought about it. What should I ask? So Lakshmi Devi said, well, no hurry, take your own time. I'll just come after 2 days and you can just, you can decide what you want to. So he said, fine, very well. So then he kept, after Lakshmi Devi left, he just kept his mala bag, and then he started making a list, what can I ask? So he started making a list. And for another 2 days, he kept on thinking, what, this I should ask, no, not that, no, this, not that, not that. Finally, and after 2 days, Lakshmi Devi came, and as soon as Lakshmi Devi came, the first thing he said that, even before you actually came in my life, my mala bag is hanging there and I've stopped chanting last 2 days, thinking about the list. Please don't come again. Just go from here. Even before you entered, I've stopped chanting. I was so peacefully chanting. Please go away and don't come back again. So that is a devotee, anapeksha. He doesn't want anything. He wants Krishna, right? So actually, a devotee is very smart. I'll tell you one more story, in this connection. There was this one king, it was his birthday. So he made a special announcement. He said, because it's my birthday and I'm in a good mood, so I'm going to open up my treasury and everybody can walk in. It's the only condition is, whatever you touch, it's yours. That's it. So, everybody was very happy and all prepared. I'll touch the maximum things and all. So the doors opened and the king was sitting and he said, yes, come on, now start. Go and touch whatever you want to. So everybody started touching something other. But there was one man who was very intelligent. He went and touched the king. He said, now you belong to me. And then he told others, stop, you can't take anything because the king belongs to me and everything belongs to the king. So now everything belongs to me. So devotees are very smart. They don't want little things from Krishna. They want Krishna only. You get Krishna, you get everything in your life, right? So anapeksha, that's what a devotee is. And next quality, Krishna says, suchi. Suchi, a devotee is clean. Yeah, a devotee takes bath 2 times a day, 3 times a day. Okay, that is an external cleaning. But devotee is also clean from inside. A devotee does not allow any bad thoughts or bad thinking in his heart. He is clean from inside. And even if a thought comes in his mind, he will not allow the thought to stay for long. Just like, Matajis must be knowing, when sometimes a pomegranate juice or a coconut water spills on our sari, even if we are in the middle of the program, we will run to the washroom and we will immediately clean it because we know if it stays, then it doesn't go. What do you call that? What do you say in English? The dark the stain. Yeah. Because English is not my first language, so sometimes. So yeah, that stain, it will stay. If you don't clean immediately, then that stain, it will be very difficult. Though they give an advertisement about the Ariel, but it doesn't work, that Surf Excel and Ariel. Actually, I've tried it, it doesn't work. So we have to clean it immediately. That's the same thing with our mind also. As soon as a bad thought comes, we shouldn't allow it to stay for long. Immediately get it out, just like we are so careful in our house. We will not allow somebody with a dirty shoes walk in. You cannot walk across my room with dirty boots. Similarly, we have to tell the thought, you can't walk across my mind with your dirty thinking. No, I don't allow you. My mind is clean. It's not a dustbin, right? In India, we have these dustbins in the park and all, and they have this thing on it, use me, But somehow, the paradox is, here you have dustbins and there is nowhere written use me, and people use it. But in India, they don't use it. Though it's written use me, they never put it in the dustbin. They always put it outside. I think we need to change that, I don't know whether they don't understand or what. So our minds should not be like, okay, use me, I'm a dustbin, come and speak all the gossips you want to, and criticism of this devotee and that devotee, and I'm ready, and put all the litter in me. We shouldn't do that. We should. I'm not available for that. It's my mind is clean, and I'm not ready to soil it. So yeah, Suchi, we should be clean from inside and outside. We should not allow any thoughts, especially criticism of the devotees. It's so dangerous. I did a very big research on this, and I don't know, this may not be the time to share with you, but I understood one thing after the Narayan Shastra and so many other research that I did, that what exactly happens, why Krishna is always talking and the Vaishnava Acharyas are talking about Vaishnava Prad and not to hear criticism of others, and giving us example of how Brahma became Haridas Thakur. But actually, in so many other Shastras also they said that when we hear somebody's criticism, when we hear somebody's criticism, then that person's bad karma gets transferred to you. Yeah, that person's bad karma gets transferred to you, and your good karma gets transferred to them. This is what happens. That is why you see some people up there, who are most talked about, and so many people are criticizing them, but they're always progressing, because the amount of criticism that they get, people are taking away their bad karmas and they're lending them the good karma. That's why they're just progressing so well. So it is very dangerous, and when we take their bad karma on us, so we have to be very careful. We should never criticize anybody, never hear gossip, never laugh on somebody else's expense. We should be very careful. In fact, there's another story I'm reminded, but I just hope I can cover all the things. Shall I tell you one story? What is the time? I can't see from here. It's 8:30? 8:35, we can go up to 9? Okay. I'll tell you this story. Did you hear the story about Yamraj spending file? No? I should tell you this. There was this king, and he decided to have a big luncheon for all the sadhus and brahmanas. So he invited cross-country, everybody for prasadam. But because he ever invited everybody, so there was no place in their own kitchen. So they had a makeshift kitchen, which didn't have any roof or something. And the cooks were cooking, and they made tasty prasadam, and all the brahmanas had prasadam, and they all died. So now the file came to Yamaraj that such a big thing has happened and all the brahmanas died. So who should be blamed for this? So the ministers came with different arguments. What exactly had happened is that one eagle had eaten a snake, and it was flying over the kitchen with the dead snake. Now the dead snake had poison in the mouth, and it was dripping, and the poison went in the dal, and everybody ate the dal and they died. So now the ministers of Yamaraj, they were saying that I think the punishment should go to the snake, because after all the venom came out from the snake's mouth. But the other minister said, how can we do that? Because the snake was dead, poor thing. It was not even alive. It doesn't know that he's spitting venom. It's just leaking from his mouth. Then they said, maybe the eagle. But they said, how can you blame the eagle? It's just hungry and it's just flying over with its food. It doesn't know what's happening down. Then they said, maybe the cook. They said, how can you blame the cook? The cook doesn't know. He was just cooking, maybe turned around to get some masala or something. And then there's maybe the king. But how can we blame the king, the poor thing? He just had a good heart. He just wanted to feed everybody. So Yamaraj said, let's keep this file pending. Looks like we don't know whom to give the result of this sinful activity that has happened. And then after 6 months, suddenly one day Yamaraj comes to office all excited and says, come on, take out that file. I know whom to, and they're all, what is it? It's a controversial case. So everybody came. It's like a breaking news. Yes. So who gets the sin of the killing of Brahmanas? And they said, one flower selling lady. So then what's the logic? So then Yamaraj said that just now few Brahmanas had come and this lady lady was selling flowers, and they were asking the lady, do you know the way to the king's palace? We're just going there. And this lady asked, are you going for having lunch? They said, yeah, king has invited us. And she immediately started laughing, and she said, be careful, last time so many people died. And she was like enjoying it, talking in an exaggerated way. So many people died and so many brahmanas died. You better be careful. We are going for lunch. Is it from where you came? She was enjoying that moment of criticizing the king. So Yamaraj said, well, when a sinful activity has been performed, somebody should enjoy, right? Why does a person perform sinful activity? To enjoy. But this brahmanas died, nobody enjoyed. But looks like this lady enjoyed the whole thing. So let's give it on her name. So we have to be so careful. Sometimes maybe somebody else has done something wrong, but if we enjoy or have a laugh or repeat it to somebody, what happened, no, then it comes to us. So we should be very careful and try to be away from that. So Suchi, we should be clean inside and outside. Then the next quality is Daksha. A devotee is expert. Devotee is expert to be Krishna conscious in all situations. It's not that when everything is not a fair weather devotee. When everything is fine, then I will worship Krishna. If things are not fine, then I will not come to the temple. He'll always be surrendered to Krishna and always keep Krishna in his thoughts. So devotee is Daksha. He's expert. Then comes Udasino. Udasino means devotee is uninvolved. Now, what do you mean by uninvolved? Uninvolved means, I'll tell you, how many of you watch cricket here? Okay, some of them are honest. So, yeah. So, when you watch cricket, when they put a 4 or a 6 or a run or a no out and all, you will see that they appeal, the players, they appeal. And they are so emotional, sometimes even if it's not an out also, the way emotionally they will shout and look at the umpire, out, 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 out. But you know what? The umpire is disinterested in their emotion. At the same time, he's not uninterested. He's interested in the game. He's the umpire. He has to decide whether to give out or not. But he's disinterested in your emotion, what emotions you are showing. He is impartial about it. That is what the devotee is. He is disinterested. It's not that he's uninterested in this world because he has to take care of his family and all, but he's disinterested to get himself involved with the lower modes of material nature. He wants to always be in a proper guna, situate in proper guna. And that is so important. Even in a normal flight of this material world, they tell you that when you are taking a flight, you'll have to switch off your gadgets. You'll have to switch off your connection with the lower world. Only then you can fly the higher world. Then what to speak about if you want to go back to Goloka Vrindavan? We'll have to give up our connection with the lower modes of material nature and connect to the higher modes, be in Sattva Guna. So devotee is uninvolved. Because he has a divine affair with the Lord, so he's not interested in any other affairs of this world. He just tries to keep things as minimum as required, talks to the point, whatever is required, and unnecessary he does not waste his time. So he is very careful in what he speaks, how he utilizes his time, how he behaves, his vocabulary, body language. He's very careful. He's very careful and he'll not waste his time unnecessarily. Next comes Gata Vyatha. A devotee is free from anxiety. Why the devotee is free from anxiety? Because he knows that Lord is in my driving seat, right? There was this couple who got newly married. So when you get newly married, you get a lot of invitations for lunch and dinner and all. It goes on for some time. After that, nobody bothers. So then, so they got an invitation from somebody, and they were in a boat. They had to go on the other side. So when they were in the boat, suddenly there was storm, and whole thing was moving and all. So his wife was asking the husband, when you are newly wedded, you are very respectful, right? So very respectfully, she was asking her husband, Prabhu, that Prabhu, it's so sweet, and only for 6 months, so it's a Prabhu, are you not afraid? The storms and the boat is shaking, and so then he immediately took out a knife from his pocket and he put it, to his wife's throat, and then he asked, "Are you not afraid?" She just smiled sheepishly. "No, I'm not afraid, because I know you'll not hurt me. You'll not hurt me. You care for me. I know you love me." So he said, same thing with me. Even if this boat is moving, I know Krishna loves me and he'll take care of me. I have that confidence, and that's why I'm not afraid, right? So gata vyatha, a devotee is knows that Krishna is always protecting him, so he's never in anxiety. Now coming to the next quality, sarvarambha parityagi. So he will not start something new, means krishnarthe akhil cheshta. For Krishna, he will do 200% endeavor, but he will not try to get himself involved in any material things or unnecessary waste time and try something new and do something which is taking him away from Krishna. So he'll be very careful what he's doing. And for Krishna, however, he will in Nectar of Instruction, right? Rupa Goswami says over endeavor is not good. But here, over endeavor for what? That is important. Over endeavor to try to get material things is not required. A devotee will not do that. But for Krishna, he will do akhil cheshta. He'll try 200% harder. A devotee is choiceless, He works only to please Krishna. Then next we go to the next one. Yo na harshati, na dveshati, na sochati, na kangshati, shubha shubha parityagi, bhakti mane same priyaha. So he doesn't have complaint. He doesn't have dvesha, he doesn't have anger, neither he will show super excitement, neither he'll be in anxiety, neither he will lament. Why? Because he has faith on Krishna. So Shubha Ashubha Parityagi, he's not worried about, it's this in the same lines of Niyamagraha. When we read Nectar of Instruction, the same explanation for that. So he's just like a bank manager. Just like when there are deposits in the bank, the manager is not worried. Even there are withdrawals, he's not worried because it's not his account anyway. It's our account, whether we withdraw. He is just a caretaker. So similarly, a devotee has no anxiety. Then Sama Shatrocha Mitrecha. A devotee, even if somebody poses like his enemy, he is equipoised in all situation. So here you see there will be 3-4 points. Equipoise with people, equipoise with situation, equipoise with body, and equipoise with mind. So he says Sama Shatrocha Mitrecha. He is equal with people. Tatha man apamanayo. He is equal in every situation. If somebody respects also, he is okay. If somebody does not respect also, he is okay. In every situation, he is fine. And Sita Ushna, whether it is hot or cold, he is fine in either situation. If it is hot, he will take an ice cream. If it is cold, he'll take a hot herbal tea. He is okay. He'll not complain. Now, usually there is this proverb in English, by nature, man is a fool. When it is hot, he wants it cool. When it is cool, he wants it hot, always wanting that which is not. That's our nature, right? When it starts raining, we are like, it's raining and we can't dry the clothes. Oh, okay, so you want it should be hot? Yeah. When it is hot, oh, it's so hot, can't go to the temple, I'm sweating. Okay, fine. So you want winter? Oh, you always want that which is not. You have something, you don't want that, you want something else. But a devotee is not like that. In whatever situation, whether hot or cold, he is happy. And Sukha Dukkha, in Samabhava, he is in Samabhava. So these are 4 very important points, because on regular basis, whether it is mana, apamana, and somebody is nice to you, somebody is not nice to you. I know the time is over, but I'll tell you one thing. It's just coming on my mind, and I want to share this with you. There was this newly wedded couple. So after marriage, this man was a little aggressive in the way he talks, So everything that he talks to his wife, there is this one line he always says, can you do this, otherwise I will, otherwise I will. So this lady got afraid, whatever he says, can you get me a cup of hot coffee, otherwise I will. And she's like, no, Prabhu, I'm getting it, Prabhu. Oh, can you get me the, hot milk, otherwise I will. Can you make water ready for my bath, otherwise I will. So now after 2-3 months, this lady got frustrated, for everything he threatens me, otherwise I will, otherwise I will. So she asked her best friend, this is a situation with my husband, he's always threatening me. Now this lady was pretty smart, so she said, fine, don't get so much worked about it. Next time when he says that, you ask, otherwise what, Prabhu? You ask. Maybe you will get a solution, don't get so. And then she just gathered all the courage, that yes, tomorrow when he says that, I'm going to ask him. So next day morning, again he started his routine. I'm getting late for the office. Are you getting the hot water ready for my bath? Otherwise I will. And she said, Prabhu, otherwise what? Otherwise I'll take bath with cold water. He said, well, this is what I've been trying to tell you last few months, If you can do it, you do. Otherwise, I will, Only thing is body language was like that. He was poor fellow was not trying to threaten. He was just trying to give an option, but she never allowed the option. So sometimes we just misunderstand people. Even like for small things we take it as an insult, or we take it may not be the case. Sometimes people speak like that. It's their language, they talk like that. They don't mean any harm, So that is why we should be sama, whatever, people have different nature, different idiosyncrasies, and we should be very tolerant. So sama, sukha, dukkha, tatha, man, apaman, every situation, and sangha vivarjita. Sangha Vivarjita means this feeling of, I'm American, I'm Australian, or I'm Indian, or I'm Telugu, or I'm... That feeling is not good. That's what even Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami very emphasizes on that. So all that titles has to be given up. I'm a pure soul, part and parcel of Krishna, is what is our identity, free from all association. Then Tulya Ninda Stutir Mauni. Tulya Ninda Stuti. If somebody criticizes also, same reaction. If somebody praises also, same reaction. That is what we have to achieve someday. Sometimes when people criticize, to remain stable may be possible, but when somebody praises, to remain stable is a little difficult. You may just get carried away, or at least you may start feeling nice about it. So nice, So that is so dangerous. One should be very careful. Whatever somebody says in every situation, one should remain. There are not many qualities. I think I can tell you one more story. Just 3-4 more qualities. I think I'll finish up on time. There was this, one Alvar in Sri Rangam. His name is Thirumal Sai Alvar. And he's an amazing devotee. So he was taking care of this one temple in, not Sri Rangam, Kumbakonam, to be precise. Yeah, Kumbakonam. So there was one old lady who used to regularly, in South India, just in front of the temple, they put water every day, and then they clean it with cow dung, and then they put rangoli. And I don't know what's rangoli in English, but yeah, they just make some designs with flour. And so this old lady was doing it on a regular basis, and everybody was very happy with her, and especially Thirumal Alvar. Thirumal Sai was very happy. So he called that lady, because he's an Alvar, and devotees of the Lord, they have all the mystic powers. They may not use it. So because she was serving the Lord very nicely, he gave her a boon. He said, may you become a young lady. So immediately she transformed into a young and beautiful girl, very beautiful, so beautiful that people around the place started coming to see her beauty. So the king came to know that she is a beautiful girl. So the king proposed to her that I want to marry you. Now she agreed because he was a king and she can't say no. So they got married. Now after some time what happened? The king started becoming old, but because she was specially blessed by the Alvar, she remained young. She was, even at the age of 50, she used to look like a 16-year-old girl. Now the king got a little jealous and he told his wife that you are looking young, I'm getting old, so even I want to look young. So can you ask your Guru Maharaj to bless me also so that I look young? So she said, look, I can't ask my Guru Maharaj that kind of material desires, it's not possible. Then he started getting very upset on her. Then she said, okay, fine, my Guru Maharaj has one of his favorite disciples. Is called Kannikanan, and this Kannikanan is very special. He's the same potency like my Guru Maharaj, same power. He can bless anybody. Maybe we can try and invite him. So they invited him home for lunch. They didn't tell what's their intention. So they had all this Pada Puja and the best of feast and everything. And Kannikanan was very pleased. At the end, when he was just about to rise and leave, then she asked that, can you bless my husband also to become young? So Kannikanan very honestly said, it's not possible. I don't give that kind of materialistic blessing. So till now they were praising him, right? All praises, you are like this, and all the charana dole. Now the king started abusing him, and what do you think you are? Get out from my kingdom, and all that kind of things. But he was equipoise. He just remained calm. So he said, okay, you want me to leave? Yeah, please leave my kingdom. I don't want to see your face. So Kannikanan, they are devotees, right? They don't have big opulent houses, just a small hut and a mat. So Kannikanan, he went back to his hut. He rolled his mat, put it under his armpit and started walking. But then he realized, how can I just go like that without informing my Guru Maharaj? So he went back and informed Tirumala Sayalvar, but this is what has happened and I'm going. His Guru Maharaj said, if you are going, what will I do? So he rolled his mat, put it under his armpit and said, let's both of us start walking, let's go. Then they both remembered, how can we go like that without informing the Lord? Let's inform the Lord. So they went and told the Lord that, dear Lord, we are going, the king has asked us to leave. Then the Lord said, if you are going, what will I do? So the Lord rolled Ananta Sesa, put it under his armpit and he said, let's go. So then the Tirumal Sayalvar is walking, Kanikanan is walking, Lord is walking, and the other citizens who saw this thing, they said, what will we do? So they rolled up their mats, put it under the armpit, and they started walking, and everybody is walking. And then when the king realized that, he came running. He said, oh my dear Lord, please don't go. And then he fall on the feet of Kanikanan, and he fall on the feet of Tirumal Sayalvar, and he said, I don't want my youth back. It's okay, but please don't leave the kingdom. So, and then the Lord agreed, and then Lord went back and opened up his Ananta slaves, and he, he slept there, lay down, and then Kanikanan went and he opened up his mat and he took rest, and Tirumal Sai, and everything went back to normal. Why I give this example is that is a nature of a devotee of the Lord. If he's respected and praised and all, it's okay. Not respected and nobody bothered, okay, fine, he's okay. Whatever situation, he's fine. Because his source of happiness is not outside. His source of happiness is inside. Because he is connected to the Lord and he's getting all the love and affection and reciprocation from the Lord. So he's not dependent upon the sources outside. That is why he's happy. Because we are dependent on, somebody should praise me, somebody should give me a comment, then only I feel happy. We are dependent outside. But a pure devotee of the Lord, he has a connection with the Lord and gets reciprocation from the Lord. Next, Mauni. Mauni, devotee of the Lord, is silent. In fact, today morning's Bhagavatam class was about that. Kapil Muni, how he took up Mauna Vrata. He was not talking anymore. So devotee of the Lord is Mauni. Mauni means, Prabhupada gave the explanation of Mauni is talking about Krishna. Not talking anything else, but only about Krishna. And it is so logical. Actually, if we start talking to people, make relationships, make contacts, we will get unnecessarily entangled in this material. Well, we may feel we are socializing, but it drags us down. It drags our consciousness. The more the people we are connected to, the more our mind is crowded. I tell you, Bharat Maharaj, right? Bharat Maharaj, I think the canto 5 of Bhagavatam, he left his wife and children and his kingdom and everything, and he was alone in that jungle. What was his mistake? He just increased one contact in his life. That was the baby deer. Imagine, increased one contact in his life and he had to take 2 times birth. He had to be born as deer and he had to be born as Jada Bharat. One extra contact, 2 more lifetimes. I get worried sometimes because I have 9,000 contacts in my phone, One extra contacts, 2 lives, and we have, I at least have 9,000, not for gossips because I, from temple management, but still I'm very careful. And I'll tell you I'll tell you a secret and nobody's recording it. Some people who waste my time by calling, how I've saved their number, Uma Mataji, time waster. Yeah, I'm telling you this and I hope nobody's recording it, but I do that, because I just want to remind myself, because if I'm going to pick her a call, I'm going to waste my time. If it's not, I don't want to waste my time. We hardly have, 24 hours. So we can always do that, just to remind ourselves that if I'm going to take this call, it's going to waste my time. It's not important, yeah. So let's not increase our contacts unnecessarily. Let's try to speak as minimum as possible, whatever required. And if anyway it's going to enhance or inspire in our Krishna consciousness, only then we talk. Otherwise we try to remain calm and not unnecessarily socialize with people and increase our contacts. And next, Santushta. This is a repeated quality. So now we understand how important must be that quality that Lord repeated. Now, he's not like us that he forgot and he just said one more time. It's on purpose. So that's an important quality. And then comes Aniketa. The Lord says that I like the devotees Aniketa, means those who don't have a house. Now this is a very big problem because everybody has a house, and Lord is saying that. So that means what Lord is trying to say is that you can have a house but don't have the house inside your mind. Like, you can have money in the pocket, not in the heart. You can have a house but not with the feeling that it's my house, like we discussed. Okay, it's just Krishna's. So if you think it's your house, then we can't become Lord's favorite devotee. We should understand this world is temporary and everything belongs to the Lord. And then comes the last quality, says Sthira Mati. My favorite devotee, he has unwavering mind, always engage, to the Lord, always engage to the Lord, yeah, always engage in loving Lord, stiramati, so he doesn't shift his mati, rati, gati, everything is Krishna. And this is the last one. I did one last story. There was this one man who had gone to Vrindavan. So when Vrindavan Loi Bazaar, if you've been to Vrindavan Loi Bazaar, they sell a lot of brass deities. So he got himself, he was not in ISKCON probably because he also got some demigods. So he got Radha Krishna and he got Ganapati and he got Shiva and he got Durga Mata and lots of other brass deities. And then he kept them all in the almara. And then he decided, no, maybe I should start praying Radha Krishna. So he took Radha Krishna out, put them in the altar, and he started worshipping them very nicely with agarbatti, offering the lamb, offering boga, everything very, very happily. And he had a particular desire which he was asking every single day to the Lord. So after patiently waiting for 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, Lord was not fulfilling his desire. So finally he thought maybe I should stop worshipping them and I should just worship the other deities. So he got all the other deities out and he put the Lord inside the cupboard, that I'm not going to worship you anymore, and he started worshipping all this. Now as soon as he was like about to start the worship, he just lit up the agarbatti, the dhupa, and he started. And suddenly he was like, he threw the dhupa and he ran. So his wife said, what happened? He said, give me cotton, give me cotton, give me cotton. What happened? I need some cotton swab. I need some cotton swab. So he gave it. And he ran, he opened the almara and he put the cotton swab inside the Radha Krishna Vigraha's nose and ears. He said, why are you doing that? He said, they have not fulfilled my desire, so I don't want they should get the dhupa and agarbatti. Why should they get it? But they have not fulfilled. Now the sweet part here was, he accepted that yes, Lord exists, it's not a statue and he's there, and just for that particular gesture and that particular thing about him, the Lord immediately appeared and said, okay fine, what do you want, tell me. The fact that you accept that I'm there, it's not a idol. So yeah, so unwavering mind, the devotee of the Lord is, he loves the Lord and he will not change his mind, and that's it. And then comes the last verse, ye tu dharmamritam idam yathoktam pariupasate shraddha dhanamat parama bhaktaste. The translation goes, he who follows this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engages himself with faith, making me supreme goal, is very, very dear to me. And I'm not making it up, it's there in the Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada has used this word, very, very. That means if we try somehow to get these qualities in our life, all these 31 qualities that Krishna mentions, then we will become very, very dear to Lord. So I end it here with a prayer that may, Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Parampara, and Lord blesses us all, and may we cultivate these qualities, if not all, at least few of them, or at least in a minute quality, and become Krishna's favorite devotee. Thank you so much for tolerating me. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. I hope you are inspired. If you have any question, you can have. And if you have any question, you can write to us also. It's a short time, how much you can tell. But certainly we should take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. There is no other alternative. We refer Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki. So, like in here, you all are trying to rebuild this big way.